Hello, my name is George Milton. Welcome to Milton's Messages. I have a poem I would like to read to you that I hope will inspire you to read the King James Bible and see what you got coming, good or bad. First, I'd like to take off my hat in reference to the Lord who's coming back with a two-edged sword. I'd also like to ask the Lord to add a blessing to the reading, hearing, and doing of His holy word. The name of the poem is What Are You Really Celebrating? What are you really celebrating? I don't want to go to hell, so I won't be looking for Peter Cottontail or his eggs on that pagan holiday Easter. That day is not celebrated by those who obey Jesus of the Bible because it is not from God. What is from God is the commandment to remember and keep the Passover. Leviticus 23:45, Luke 22:19. So, if you are celebrating Easter, you are dissing Jesus of the Bible and going against his wishes. Matthew 15:8-9, Mark 7:7-8, and Colossians 2:8. If you are celebrating Easter, you are celebrating a Roman fertility festival, which has nothing to do with Jesus. The cross, where Jesus perished, is not to be cherished as a holy thing to put on your neck or anywhere else. That is idol worship. Exodus 23-5 is a Roman death device where they crucified Jesus Christ. Nothing holy about that. How can a mere mortal tell you not to eat meat when God said it is to be received? 1 Timothy 4:1-3. 40 days of Lent is not a commandment heavenly sent. Satan rules this world now and is fooling man every day, every way he can. I'm sure people can find many more constructive things to do than hide eggs under chairs and in hedges. The pagan holiday Easter was a Roman fertility holiday where all citizens participated, even children. So what are you really celebrating? This holiday was originally called Ishtar. The Romans actually dressed their children up nice, fixed their hair, and rich people paid and agreed upon a price to the parents of the children so they could take the child home and have their way with them. Believe it or not, that's where the tradition of buying kids Easter clothes comes from. People don't know what they're celebrating. I'm not celebrating anything like that. Research it for yourself. Don't be silly. God never created a lily, especially for Easter. This is not from God. It actually resembles a human female fallopian tube. Satan is very crafty. I'm very sure God doesn't want you celebrating all that. Jesus died on Wednesday before sunset and rose on a Saturday before sunset. John 20:1. So where does Easter Sunday come from? Now Satan has people calling it Resurrection Sunday. Jesus himself said he would be in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights. Matthew 12:40-41. You can't possibly get 3 days and 3 nights from Friday to Sunday morning. It is really sad that the whole world cannot add. So what are you really celebrating? So now the world goes to church on Sunday, Satan's fun day, and the Lord commands you to go on the seventh day. Exodus 28-11. Satan built a holiday around falsehoods, paganism, and deception, and the whole world is in reception of this. Jesus has holy days. Satan and man has holidays. So what are you really celebrating? Think about it. A rabbit doesn't lay eggs. All it does is have sex and eat. That's why they, or Satan, inspired man to use a rabbit as a symbol for Easter. And it will eat its own feces if it gets hungry enough. And they put that on the candy package. Rabbits reproduce in 28-31 days. Easter in ancient Rome, or Ishtar, was actually a mass orgy. Everybody attached themselves to somebody else's body. It didn't matter if it was a man or a woman. I'm going to keep it clean, but that was a scene in the woods. Drunken Romans having sex. So why do you really celebrate? What do you celebrate? Semiramis' son, Tammuz, was killed by a wild pig, and she mourned for 40 days. And that's where you get 40 days of Lent. All paganism is from Satan. The tradition of eating ham on Easter comes from Tammuz getting killed by a wild pig. So they killed pigs and ate ham. So what are you really celebrating? There is no mention of Mary, Jesus' mother, mourning for 40 days for Jesus. God said in Leviticus 11, don't eat swine or pig, but people will eat it, supposedly celebrating his resurrection, when Jesus said it should never be in your selections of meats to be received. And no matter what anybody says, you cannot just pray over some food and it's clean and fit to eat. It don't work that way. Straight disobedience to the Lord is what it is. The Lord commanded the children of Israel not to worship him in the same way other nations worship their false gods and say it's in honor of him. Pagan customs and traditions of men is what it is. Deuteronomy 12, 30 to 32, Mark 7, 6 to 9. So what are you really celebrating? Think about it. Read the King James Bible for yourself and see I'm telling the truth with biblical proof.